No, senor, we aren't recording just yet. But here we are. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I couldn't hear myself. How is everybody doing? We hope you guys are doing awesome. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, and today I am joined by the grey beard, the wise one. It looks good, actually.
Am I allowed to use sign language on this podcast? Excuse me, that wasn't at you.
Good.
That was at him.
I think your beard looks good.
Thanks, John. Thanks. Not really a beard. I just didn't shave.
That's when you don't shave for one day. That's what happens. It takes me 6 months to do that.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when your growth from your head goes on your face. If it doesn't grow on my face, it'll grow on my ass. Anyway, sorry.
1 minute in. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
My apologies. Not really. How could you take me seriously? But anyway.
How you doing?
You know what I said the other day?
What?
I've just come back from Zim and I was in an event with some people and I said, you know, the one thing that I have learnt in life, and a friend of mine used to tell me this, take your life seriously, take your business seriously, take what you have to do in life seriously, take the journey seriously, discipline seriously, but never be too serious. And he always used to say, never lose your sense of humor. And how often do we just see in this world today that people are trying to move forward, but there's just such this seriousness about life, you know, stuck up and
upset.
And,
You know, I saw a guy get upset about a car that was 4 cars in front of him. I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're going to get there. And if you're going to get there late, that's also on you because you should have left on time.
You've probably got a cell phone. Pick up the phone someone, say, I'm really sorry, I'm running late.
And now you're upset and now your whole day is ruined. And Nicole and I were doing videos last week. And like one of the things we spoke about is the clean slate, like clean slating it.
Yeah.
You know, every day is a new day.
It is.
Start anew. But people want to carry things
their shit
from
forward,
last week, 2 weeks ago.
Chum, from last year, 10
10
years
years
ago,
from
30 years
COVID,
ago.
From the Aztecs.
Chum.
Come on. So,
Someone stole my grandfather's flint from his spear.
and that's why you're not
I
successful.
want compensation.
You started this reparations thing again. You don't start with me, please.
Oh, dear. Anyway.
Because I also want my reparation. I don't know for what yet.
Chum, I want my reparations because you've been working for me for 12 years.
You're not getting that back. Let that go. Just let it go.
Anyway, let's move on swiftly.
Whew. So, you brought something up that was fascinating. So I was like, I've been looking for somebody to talk to about this, actually. I didn't want to do it to the idiots online because I knew whoever was going to go with it. I knew it. Steers.
Chum, I saw that video. I was like, man, that epitomizes. You know, the difference between a business, well, generally, what makes a successful entrepreneur or a successful business owner successful versus most employees.
Mm-hmm.
A business owner and entrepreneur is paid for results.
Yes.
Okay, you only get paid to get results. You don't get paid to work. Most employers are paid to work. So if you rock up and you work and you don't create results, you still get paid. And when I saw that video, I was like, man, that's such a great example of, of that is, you know, if I was a steers owner or any business owner and, you know, there's downturn in my business and I got to go outside and clean the lawn and mow the lawn and get it all nice, I do that. And when you can get your teams, business teams, to think like that, you create different results. And often those are seemingly small things, but they're massive things that in business, when you can get your team in that direction, makes an absolute change.
Yeah, that's mad. I mean, for me, when I saw it, At first, I laughed because I just found it funny. But then when I looked into it, because I actually saw that Steers had released a statement about it. And I didn't really go through the whole statement because I was like, I think you guys are. My thing is now, this is being reactionary.
Yeah.
You're reacting because there's this social media backlash. And I was like, was it really backlash though? And why do we even care what these people have to say? I mean, the way that I looked at it was a bunch of people taking care of theirs.
But you said to me that, and I found this interesting, is because I looked at it and went, okay, what's the real story behind here? And there's some people dressed in Steers uniforms cleaning up the garden around Steers. And what you've led me to believe is that they didn't even complain. It was someone that took a video that made all the scene about it. It actually had nothing to do with them.
No.
It had nothing to do with the business. It had nothing to do with they have no context about whether the staff agreed or didn't agree,
No idea.
or the manager did it. No idea. They just stuck their flipping nose into something that absolutely has nothing to do with them. And you know how often we talk about this, because you think you have an opinion, you can post it all over social media, and you create absolute shit that's not even needed to be created.
Insanely unnecessary shit.
You know,
it's crazy.
Just because you think you have the right. And you know what? The same type of people, guess what? If you and I went along and followed them and watched all the nonsense that they're getting up to in their life, and we posted on social media, how do you think they'd love that?
They wouldn't like that at all. They'd be like, why are you invading my privacy?
Invading my privacy, it's sue for defamation, all that sort of stuff.
How come we're not jumping up and down and speaking about the privacy of those people?
Correct.
You know what I mean? They were standing, they were cleaning, doing whatever they were doing. You basically shot this video because it was your moment to go viral, obviously. It's your big moment. You're probably, and because of the country we live in, immediately probably called racism. What happened to those people's privacy? Did you ask any of those people if you can post their faces online?
But the other thing is there's channels. If that's your job description and you don't want to do your job description and you are unhappy, well then go to the channels. Go through HR department. Go to CCMA. Lodge a complaint with. Those are the channels.
100%. Instead, you want to be.
It just intrigued me. It was like that, and that's one of our biggest problems. Not only in this country, but in the world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at all the nonsense that's going on because people can just post whatever the heck they feel like about other people and make assumptions and then dice it and slice it to suit their narrative, generally without any facts.
But you know what's also become nuts to me about the posting thing? We are actually broadcasting death now. Do you know how nuts that is?
Oh no, man. We just,
we've lost ourselves as humanity. Like there's the care, just the simple care for another person, for another living individual is just gone.
People will rip out their cell phones and take pictures of someone getting beaten up and shot before they actually try to help the person. I mean,
that's nuts.
But when I saw that, I mean, let's take it back to a business context. When I saw it, I was like, that's one of the biggest problems in business is. And my thought was this, no facts, but my thought was, so if that particular business, that Steers, is on a downturn and there's not enough customers, but the staff are being paid to rock up every day.
Yeah.
And then, guys, let's clean up outside. Let's sort it out. Let's get the front done. Let's get the back done. Let's get our place looking neat and tidy.
Yeah.
So at least we can try and attract more people coming in. And when we do that and we attract more people coming in, we safeguard our jobs. But people don't think like it.
No.
That's not in my job description. I don't get paid to cut the lawn, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, great. Well, guess what? As the business goes down, and if I'm forced to now either do it myself as the business owner or the manager or go hire someone, well, then I become less and less profitable. And guess what? Eventually that store's going to shut down. Everyone's going to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Well, now what?
Well, that's the business owner's fault.
Now you're going to stand up. Yeah, well, people will blame the business owner, blame the company, blame the brand.
Yeah.
But you don't look at what are we actually doing? What are the actions and activities we're doing? Not just in our job description. I mean, in our team, everyone in our team is expected to do stuff that's not in their job description.
Yes.
Because that's how we play. That's part of, yes, you have accountability to what you have to deliver on.
Yeah.
But guess what? when we're doing an event, everyone chips in. We have a 5-day event. Goodness me, you carry this.
You have to. You can't be telling me. Imagine me saying, "No, my job is sales and marketing. What am I carrying and setting up?"
Chum.
And I think but I feel like people miss those things, right? Do you want to? What type of team do you want to play on? What type
Correct.
of if you like, and because you and I do it a lot. We go to the sports context, right? The team you support. When your striker's not performing, he's not putting in the goals.
Yeah.
You expect somebody else to do it.
Well, you have to.
Somebody else has to do
it. But the
it.
deal is, I mean, if you're in, if you're on the field and you're a midfielder or you're a defender, and you happen to run down the line and dribble, you're not going to get to the box and go, "Oh, Kak, I'm not getting paid to score."
not my job.
And put up your hand and complain that, hey,
score
dude,
as
before I shoot, am I going to get a bonus? You're not going to do that.
No.
And if the striker sees, I mean, if you are 2 men down because 2 people got sent off or what, and you're 2 men down and the striker has to get his ass back into the box to go defend, he's not going to complain.
No.
And if that striker does complain, it's not going to last on that team very long.
No.
But because, yes, we all have positions that we have to hold and be accountable, but there's so many times where we have to pick, and that is a fundamental that I think is so lost in the world today. But it's a core difference between people that really succeed and people that don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what type of people do you want on your team?
Are you prepared to do what's needed to be done? Not because, it's that analogy of am I prepared to do, or that the focus of what am I prepared to do what is needed to be done, and then understand that if I do what is needed to be done, when the time and the timing's right, because of the principle of exchange and the principle of reciprocity, I will get what is due to me in return.
When the time and timing is right,
When
not on your time.
right. I want what I want before I have to do what I do. That's not how it works.
I did this, so I must get this now.
Yeah,
I did it now, I must get it now.
I use that analogy of going to the Olympics. So I'm going to go to the 2028 Olympics.
Nice.
Okay, great. No, it's well, but when I get there, and they give me the medal, then I'll start training.
For sure.
And when I start training, then I'll have a dream of being an Olympian.
Got you.
Well,
but you need the medal first.
That's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And when I say that in my seminars, people look at me as though you are stupid. But that is how so many people are living life, doing work, is give me the medal first, then I'll do, and then I'll think about it.
Yeah.
It is not a principle of success. So when you look at that, there's so many little aspects of it, and you're like, man, that's the problem,
Man, that stairs thing was weird. It was weird, but I felt like it was just such a great thing to start off with because I feel we need more people like that in the world. Just my take. I feel
like
like
what?
That will step up and do what needs to be done.
Oh, you mean not people interfering and shoving their nose into something that's not their business?
Not the recorders, because you serve no purpose in the world. Well, what you gave us is a point to teach from.
Your 4 minutes of fame.
Yeah, and now you're gone. But I applaud those people, man. I applaud the.
I'd be fascinated to find out who that person was, whether they've ever even built a business of their own or even invested and taken a risk in something. That's what I also see. Is how many times do you see people complaining about stuff and have no context to what it actually takes to set up a business, take a risk, do all that sort of stuff.
To do what needs to be done.
And I am the first. There needs to be fair and equitable exchange. I get that. So this is not about abusing people or anything like that. It has to be fair and equitable, and you've got to manage it on all sides. But that's what working together as a team is. So, interesting. Anyway.
So I saw this other story. Something that happened in 2023. A worker was dismissed for stealing toilet roll.
A toilet roll. A bit of a shit decision. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not, because they took him to the CCMA, went on for 2 years, and they've now won. The employee won.
Over a toilet roll.
Over a toilet roll. They have to get paid their back pay for all the years that they...
Yeah.
And the company has to bring them back.
Wow.
That's crazy, yeah?
Yeah. But I suppose, again, it'll be interesting to really understand the facts.
Yes.
And, for me, it's a toilet roll. You can look on two sides. It was a toilet roll. It's worth $5,000 or whatever it's worth. Maybe not even that. So people would go, but it's just, I get that. But the reality is one toilet roll becomes a packet of toilet rolls becomes, some stock out of the warehouse, and when do you stop it? So deal is, if the rule in the company is no stealing, no stealing. Now what's the rule? If you get caught, do you get a warning? Okay, maybe. So it's again, it's hard to make opinions, but reality is, what are your rules? What does everyone sign up for? What's the game? And are you held accountable?
So I think it's funny that you bring up rules, because it is what I wanted to talk about, because it's now a question was asked around, I don't know, I can't even remember what, it was on the radio. And the question was essentially, as a country, have we lost our rules?
As a country, our context is broken, pal.
Let's go. Talk to me about that.
I mean, we've talked on this on our podcast a couple of times. I learned this whole concept from Blair Singer 19 years ago, and it's the concept around your cup. Mm-hmm. Is that you have content and context. When you have, I mean, maybe I'll do it quickly.
Where?
I'll do it right here.
Let me get a cup.
Yeah. See if we can grab a coffee cup and a.
Oh, then keep talking to the people while I'm gone.
So we'll grab a coffee cup and go from there. So So basically, what I'm going to go through is many people in life are just focused on content. What can I get out of life? What can I have? What do I need? What's my success? What am I going to get out of this? How much money am I going to get? And don't get me wrong, content is important. I, like most people, I like better things. I like nicer experiences. I like nicer offices, so on and so on and so on. But in this journey of life, in this journey of business, in this journey of growth, what I've observed is that we forget about two critical things. We forget that everything consists of... bring me a polystyrene cup.
There isn't one.
Everything in life consists of whether you are successful or not successful, when things are going well or not going well, when you've just started to do something, when you're well in the middle of it. These two things are always there, and these two things are things called heat and pressure. Thanks, bud. So yeah, heat and pressure. So when I look at heat and pressure, you can take two cups. One is a polystyrene cup, this one, and one is a ceramic cup. And like, for example, these could be two sales reps in a business, same business, mm-hmm. Two sales reps selling the same stuff, same company, same environment, same everything else. Two businesses in the same economy, competing against each other. Very similar stuff, very similar contents.
Yeah.
Okay, brand, money, or economy. We all have access to that. Mm-hmm. I don't know, two people playing the same sport, competing in the same environment. I don't know, two golfers competing on the same golf course. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? It's the same. It's the same content. So if I take this cup, with the same contents, and I put a bit of heat, and I put a bit of pressure, what's happened? Here we go. You can see crumbling all over me. It's burnt. It's gone.
Yeah.
So if I take the other cup, the ceramic cup, put the same heat. So the same heat, same environment, same heat, same laws, same rules, and I put the same pressure. Well, guess what? It'll withstand. It may get a bit warm, but I think that's, for me, that's when we lose our values, when we lose our code of honor, when we lose our rules. That's what the cup's made of. What are your values in life? How do you uphold those values? What's your code of honor? What are the things that you will stand by? How do you behave? What are the things in life that you will not break? And what are your rules of operation? What are your rituals? What's your mission and purpose? What's your philosophy to life? And you ask the question is, when those things happen, have we broken our rules? Yes. So what happens is you You let a person off. One person steals, then the next person. Well, how do you contain it? It's exactly like the road.
Yeah.
You travel on the South African roads. Well, we have very clear rules, very clear laws,
Very clear.
and people do what they want.
Yeah.
And then one person does it, so another person says, well, I'm going to do it. And then we justify that because everyone else is doing it, I'm doing it. No.
Yeah.
But it's broken. Then the same people will complain when they get robbed that there's no law and order in the country. Well, you're not upholding law and order. You're not. And if you look at any of the great countries, any of the great empires that have been built, any great team in sport, they generally have one thing in common. They have a very, very, very strong context, very clear on their rules, very clear on how they play the game. You know, Man United under Alex Ferguson, set of rules. They were highly successful.
Yep. The All Blacks.
In the All Blacks, one of the winningest rugby teams in the world,
Yep.
the Springboks over the last 10 years,
Yep.
under Rassie. My belief is that that's what he's done. Rassie Erasmus is focused on maintaining context, creating rules, code of honor, values, mission, holding it together and attracting the people that are prepared, the right people that are prepared to play that game. You know, Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
I think it was the
Packers.
The Packers. He led the Packers, I think, to 9 consecutive NFL championships, Super Bowls. There's one. Why? Because he had a code of honor, a set of rules called the Lombardi rules. That was it. You played for the Packers. You played by his rules.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Look at the Spartans, the Romans, well, look at America. What made America great? A set of rules that they played by. What's breaking America now? They've lost their rules. They've changed their rules. They're not playing by what made America great, and then justifying that they are. So, where are we at in South Africa? Just broken rules,
smashed rules, absolutely smashed rules.
So yeah, look, and that serves some people in all games, but the reality is it doesn't serve everybody.
Yeah.
So when you uphold, it's like your home. You know, if you have a set of rules and you're the father, and you're the head of the household, and you uphold the rules yourself, and then your family upholds the rules, well, you have a much better chance of creating a strong environment where the family succeeds.
Yes.
Okay, but if you don't, if you swear at your wife and you hit her around, and then tell your kids that they must respect other people, that ain't going to happen. They're going to go off and do what you do. But if you say these are my rules, we respect each other, we treat each other fairly, we serve each other, we love each other, and you show that, and you hold yourself accountable to that, then you can hold other people accountable. But so
it is a tricky one.
Yeah, that's the rules. So in business, what are the rules?
Yeah.
First of all, do you get everyone to agree to the rules? If you agree to the rules, play by the rules.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
someone
just agree to the rules for the sake of having a job, because when the moment comes for the rules to be enforced, you should never be in a position where you're saying, but I didn't agree to that.
Yeah.
Be
so
very clear.
I mean, how many people sign a job description without reading the job description and a couple of months later go, but that's in your job description. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you signed it. Oh, no, it's not my fault. No, it is your fault.
It is your fault. I didn't trick you.
I don't know. I've done that many times in legal agreements and gone, oh, crap. That was my fault. Okay, well, I have to take responsibility for it. I can blame, but you didn't show me. Dude, you read the agreement. You signed it. It's your signature.
Yeah.
You know, so it's governed by agreement. And that's what I see a lot of the time is we're not clear on the agreements. In businesses, we're not clear on the agreements. We think that everybody knows. We think it's obvious. It's not obvious. Sully, you come work for this company. These are our rules. This is how we play the game. So let's go to the theft thing. Sully, in this business, it doesn't matter what level of theft. If you steal anything out of this business, you will be fired.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put it in writing. Now, you know, HR people and all that are going to comment. I get that. But the point I'm making is you keep it simple, clear. The agreement is clear. There's no ambiguity. And then but he agreed. Anything means. And in the discussion, I explained anything means from a pencil to we do not tolerate theft.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we create so much ambiguity within rules. It was interesting when I was in Zim now. I made the comment that the rules of the road in South Africa are 120 kilometers per hour. Now, I don't mind people having a blue light brigade. I don't mind people having some security. That's okay. If you're at a level and that's your job, and you have a group of
all right, fancy man.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it.
But I do mind that you come and push me off the road because you're doing 180 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
No, because the law says 120. It doesn't say that because you are important and special, you can now drive at a much faster speed. No.
I don't see that anywhere.
Okay, what it says is if you're a policeman and you are chasing somebody, and we'd have to look up the definitive law, but my take is now you're in pursuit, and that's why you have the lights, and it's a policeman or a fireman or an ambulance,
yeah.
And then the law, and then what's expected is normal people get out of the way. But that those policemen and that ambulance, they don't bash you off the road, jump out, beat you up. It doesn't make sense. So for me, have a blue light, but you're a leader. Uphold the laws of the road.
Yeah.
Have courtesy for everybody else on the road. Just and now take that back into the business. You're the MD, the CEO, the sales manager. Well, if you have a set of rules, live by those rules as well. And when you do that, that's when you lead. That's when you drive it all the way down. But what happens is we have these rules for thee and not for me. They're really for me, but because I position myself at some position that I think I'm more important than anyone else, well, stuff you, I'll do whatever I want, but you must do it. And I just think that lacks integrity, and I think that's one of our biggest problems in the world, and in business, and in life, and in families, and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, you've been like for the past 2.5 years, 3 years maybe. You've been working with a lot of big businesses who have the levels, right? There's CEO, all of that type of stuff. So you come in with rules. For example, you're going to teach a code of honor. Well,
the first thing I'll do within any business is make sure that we get very clear on context, very clear on the cup.
Yeah.
Because unless your context is clear, unless you know about the rules you're going to play by, well, you can implement strategies and all that sort of thing. Eventually, they'll just break down. So the first thing is you create clarities, and then you get the buy-in from everybody. And when I mean everybody, it's got to be driven from the top. The CEO, the MDs, the managers, they've got to drive it into their own lives, and then get everybody else to play the game.
Do you get a lot of pushback though from the people with titles? Because I feel like that would be your biggest struggle, right? It's like the people with titles.
It's simple for me. Is when I go into an organization and I want to implement those things because that's what we agreed to do, and then I get pushback. Well, I have a choice: I either don't work with them anymore and move on and find someone else who wants to embrace it, or not. All the clients that I've worked with consistently for a long period of time, the success of that has come because the business owner or the entrepreneur or the CEO or the MD has driven it themselves and embodied it. Not that they don't make mistakes, but they own it and are responsible for it, and they drive it and own it. Whereas what I see a lot of times is people are like, I don't know, we do these values and they are marketing exercises and it's all cool and looks nice around our business, but no one in leadership lives it. So how do you expect anyone else to live it? I mean, amount of times I go into organizations and I go, what are your values? Majority of an organization generally can never tell me. They know one or two of them or three of them. But if there's a list of 6 or 7,
they don't know.
They don't. And then what do they mean and how do they apply? They just become words. So this idea of context is very clear. I mean, context comes out of the Bible.
Where?
God gave Moses the 10 Commandments.
Oh.
That is context.
That's how we're going to live.
That's how we should live.
That's true.
Context.
Nice.
Well, what? By accident? Do not murder.
Do not steal. Do not covet.
No, do not covet. No adultery. Do not steal. But those are core-based fundamentals of life.
This context thing has been around for years. Since before Christ.
Well, it's been around for God. God had context for Adam. Do not eat the friggin' apple. Do not eat the apple, China. Adam went and ate the apple. Idiot.
Adam was the first guy to break context. And here we are. And I would just do it all willy-nilly.
But you know what I mean? It was
100%.
there's a rule.
No, you're
Adam,
right.
I'm gonna put you in this garden. It is friggin' amazing. There's one rule: do not break it. And as human beings, that's all we friggin' want to do. You know, and then complain when life's shit.
I'm going to give you the best garden in the world. The best garden that's ever existed. Just don't do this one thing. Nah, I'm going to do the one thing.
And then blame the woman.
Why didn't you tell me?
It wasn't my fault, it was
he
her
told
fault.
you not to do it.
Doesn't that happen in business?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Don't steal. It's not my fault. It's your fault. Sully told me that I must steal.
And I'll never get caught because he's been doing it.
There we go. What? So does that make sense? So
Yeah, that's
rules and context is being around. It's part of God. It's part of how we play the game.
Yeah.
So when you go to the 10 Commandments, honestly, if we lived by those 10 Commandments,
Simple, clean. Simple and clean. Actually, it's simple.
It's very
So
simple. But the problem is as human
As
beings,
people.
we have choice and we're greedy and
That's
we want
what-
to look after ourselves and
That's what I always-
stuff everyone else.
I always say
me
to you-
first.
I would say to you, God put up the do not disturb sign on the planet. It's like, I'm done with you guys. I've literally given you everything. And you just don't want to listen. Like, what? So how do we fix our context in this country? Do we start again?
No, I think it's anywhere. So it takes leadership and it takes leadership to stand up and do and be the right thing. Be the right thing. You know, and what does that mean? And live by a set of behaviors and a set of rules and that are clear. I mean you look at some of the great countries that I look at in the world today. Singapore.
Yeah.
They have a very strong set of rules. Sure, they are very at times bureaucratic in that, but you live by those rules, and they are highly successful. So there's a different. You know, I said to that young man that asked me about the Blue Light Brigade. I said, okay, so let me ask you this: who do you support? I think he said he supports Chelsea. So I said, okay, so you support Chelsea, excellent. And who's at the bottom of the log? I don't know. I think he said Wolves.
Yes, Wolves.
He said Wolves at the bottom of the log. I said, great, because he was saying, you know, the way we do it is that, like one of his examples was, I don't know, I think he said in Sweden, if you get caught speeding, depending on your salary, you pay a different level of fines. I'm like, why would we go there?
Yeah, why is my income determine my
Because
fine?
I've friggin' worked harder than you and I've created something. I must now be friggin' penalized. Immediately I would just went, that's friggin' socialistic.
That is bad.
Why would I want to do that?
No, I don't
But anyway, so we're having this debate, and I said, okay, so let me ask you this: you support soccer? You said, yeah. I said, okay, great. So I tell you what, when Chelsea play Wolves, you guys only allowed 9 people on the field because Wolves are shit.
Yeah.
So you only allowed 9 people on the field, and Wolves are allowed 3 handballs every 15 minutes anytime they want it. How's that?
That sounds like a good game.
He goes, you can't do that. I'm like, why not? He looked at me. I said, so why is it okay in life? Why? Have an equal playing field.
For sure.
Have an equal set of rules. Uphold the rules. But the team and the people that can play and understand those rules and utilize their skills and talents and everything will thrive. That is fair. Not change the flipping rules, change the playing field so that you play by different rules. So set a set of rules.
That we all play by.
And play by the rules.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree to that.
I mean, in South Africa, can you imagine... I don't know, I was saying to the Pirates supporters, you guys are the top of the league. I mean, who won last year? Sundowns.
Sundowns.
Downs won last year. Okay. So you guys are at the top of the league. So this coming year, because you were, I don't know, 20 points ahead, for example. Maybe they were 20 points ahead.
There's something crazy.
Okay, so
the
they
league
were
was
right
over.
They were right up. You're 20 points ahead, so you are like a billionaire. So we're going to take stuff away from you. So next season, you are only allowed 10 players, and the other team gets 5 minutes free head start to run on the field and play before you go on. Chum, can you imagine the issues that would happen? But that's how we expect people to play live.
Football in this
But that's how
country.
we expect people to play live.
100%.
Well, it's not how it works.
No, it's not.
It's not how life works.
No.
So I think one of the problems is because people don't uphold the rules and don't play by the rules and don't stick to the rules. So everyone wants to break the rules in order to get themselves. And eventually what happens is we end up with this. We end up with a broken frigging cup.
And the thing is, I feel like as a country right now, I mean, we did a cup video that in our brains at the time went viral, right? I think in like 4 days it did 100,000 views. Or something. And that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you were actually talking about it's breaking.
Yeah.
I'm now sitting and I'm saying, I think it's broken.
I think in many cases it is.
And it
is broken.
It's so crazy because there's so many things that are happening. I mean, right now, one of the questions that's getting asked to our Minister of Police is, do South Africans feel safe? And he basically said, I don't know if I can answer that question. And I was like...
Well, he doesn't want to answer the question because he's scared of the answer.
He's terrified of the answer because he knows the answer.
Because if the answer is yes, South Africans are scared, well, what that means is you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in a board meeting and the members of the board meeting say, are you making a profit? I don't know if I can
answer that right now.
I don't know if I can answer that, China. Dude,
means you're not.
Pull up your financial statement. What does it friggin' say at the bottom?
But it
says we're making a loss. Okay, good. What are you going to do about it?
We can do that in a business, but we can't do that in our governments. We can't do that to actually be like, dude, can we look at the stats, please, to actually show the crime rates in our country?
Even in business, we don't do it, Suli.
Yes.
Many business owners don't do it. They hide away from the numbers. They justify why they're not having what they have. It's unfair. All different justifications, economy, I don't know where I grew up, education levels, all that sort of stuff. Rather than actually saying, what are the core principles? What's the context that I should be playing by? How am I doing it? Am I following that? And am I measuring it to get better? No, because I don't want to go the journey. I want what I want when I want it. So instead of owning it, that's I mean for me that's one of the biggest things in America right now.
What?
Is crime statistics went through the roof over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And Trump's come in and gone, like him or don't like him, but the reality is he came in and he said, I'm going to make America safer again. I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to remanage crime, bring it down. How do you manage crime? You manage crime by increasing accountability. If someone's stealing from if there's theft in your warehouse, what do? You put in frigging cameras. Well, first of all, you got to find it. So you have to go in there. You put in cameras. You put in security. You do everything, and you manage it. And you track. And when you catch someone,
report them. Send them in jail. You call the cops or whatever you need to do.
So how do you do that in a country? Same thing. You have to drive accountability.
And I think that's such a big problem in our country is like we just don't drive accountability. And like I've said it to you before, I enjoy listening to talk radio because I enjoy listening to South Africans calling in and saying, well, he's not doing his job and he's not doing his job and he's not doing his job. And I go, if I came to your job today,
would you be doing it?
Because I know there's times where I'm not doing my job.
Correct.
And I should be held accountable to it, and I am held accountable to it. But more than anything, I'm the one who can put my hand up first and be like, look, I'm not doing my job. I'm doing X, I'm doing Y. But I'm not doing what I'm here to do. But because politicians and those types of people are public-facing, it's very easy to point fingers at them.
Yeah.
But exactly like you're saying, but where are you doing your part? Where are you overtaking where you shouldn't be overtaking? Where are you speeding where you know you shouldn't be speeding? Oh, no, but come on, I was just 20 over. Okay, his bribe was just 20 million rand over.
Okay, so you work for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sully, I was just $200 short.
What are you talking about?
And you're paid.
What are you talking about?
Well, you 20 kilometers over.
No,
you'd now be pissed off.
Yeah, where's my $200?
Yeah, and that's unfair now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the principles and the process is exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
So it comes back to that. I don't know. Biblically, the thing about, when you have when you see the speck in somebody else's eye, don't complain about them. Take the friggin' piece of wood out of your eye first. Yeah, and I think that's part of the deal is how are we operating to live a better, greater life?
No, we're not.
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't break the rules, do stupid things.
That'd be ridiculous.
But I do whatever I can to take responsibility and go, what's the effect that it's going to be, and how do I do that? How do I do it in the business?
Yeah, because
And
it just
if
ripples.
each one of us get a little bit better, I used an example the other day in one of my rooms. I said, okay, let's just, this, can I take accountability for what I'm doing piece? And it starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, okay, if I'm unhappy with the trash in the country,
Yeah.
or the trash in my area. So in, let's say, a 5K area of our offices, we are sick and tired of the trash and people throwing stuff. Great. So where does it start? It starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I make a commitment to myself today. I'm going to go out on the road. I'm going to pick up one piece of paper.
Cool.
And I'm going to throw it in the dustbin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one piece of paper makes absolutely no effect.
No.
But coupled with that, once I've done it on day one, in day two, I'm going to recruit somebody else who's going to commit to pick up one piece of paper, and I'm going to commit to pick a piece of paper up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're also going to commit that once they've picked up a piece of paper on day one, on day two, and every day thereafter, they're going to recruit somebody else. And everybody does that. In the first 1, 2, 10, 15, 20 days, we would have very little effect. And then in Edenvale, in our area around, suddenly there would start being a little bit more effect. And we'd eventually get to the stage where we have critical mass, where enough people in this local area are picking up enough pieces of paper that it may not stop other people throwing the paper away, but when they do it, it's highly likely there will be someone in that area that will say, hey, we tidy up this area, pick up the paper. Mm. And now you start creating that level of accountability, and over time you create critical mass. You create, you create, as Malcolm Gladwell says, you create a tipping point. When you hit that tipping point, everything starts happening. Yes. But what do people do? And it works in the opposite. Oh, well, stuff that no one else does it, so I'm not going to do it. Everyone else chucks away, so I'm going to chuck away. Well, the opposite happens. It just becomes hugely worse and worse and worse. Eventually you get the tipping point, and it's just stuffed. I mean, look at over time on the roads, we've lost our rules around traffic. And I don't know if it's just me or social media, but what I've noticed is just in January alone, I've noticed posts on some horrific, like that horrific accident with those kids killed in a taxi. Where does that come from?
Breaking the rules.
They'll blame the young man. Great, he got a thing. But that comes from the culture that we've created over time.
Yeah.
That's the culture that we've created over time.
It's the norm.
It's now the conditioning. Start that. I'm not going to go for my license. I'm going to drive. I'm going to get in my car, do whatever I want. All the other drivers that do what I want overtake 4 people. This is how we drive that. That's the culture.
That's what we do.
And there are irreversible, friggin' huge consequences, and then everyone's up in arm. But it didn't happen yesterday. We've been creating that, and guess what? Our roads now are like this. The cup is broken in terms of roads.
Little cracks.
Well, that's it. And no one fixes it. And then someone else does it. Someone else does it. And then suddenly, now we have so to go back to your question, what does it take to fix this? It takes leadership to stand up and say enough is enough.
And it takes...
enough is enough, and these are the rules, and we're going to do this, and if you're not part of it, you're going to get dealt with.
But I think that what's important when you speak about leadership, it's not a title. It's you as an individual, as a lone person, as you said, going to pick up one piece of paper in the street.
From the core basics, it is Suli.
Okay.
But on the other side, it's from the people that have titles that are, I'm a leader.
For sure.
I'm in charge. No, it's leadership. Leadership, if you are in a position of title, if you want to change this, no, not my words. If you want to change it,
good question.
If you don't want it, if you are benefiting out of it and you don't need to change it, you'll let it get worse.
Of course.
So it all like people say, why don't they fix it? Why don't people fix it? Why don't you fix businesses? Why don't you do this?
Because someone's benefiting.
It depends whose agenda is being served.
Yeah.
So, and you can take that into all areas, like take that back into micro, just into a family household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think if
dad is gambling,
everyone going to gamble.
Well, no. Well, if dad's gambling, then he's not going to push for everyone to manage their budget.
No.
Because if you manage your budget, mum's going to say, we got to stop spending money. Sat. Now, so guess what? Yes, we should budget. We'll talk about it, but do nothing about it because I still want to have my gambling addiction or gambling habit. So does that
Let me
make sense?
enjoy
So,
my gamble.
so it's not just it's not just governments and countries. It
No.
can be taken all the way down into our businesses and
No, and I mean, like you brought up Singapore earlier, and I think that if you've never been to Singapore, you probably, I think it's so different being in Singapore and reading or
Yes.
listening, or it's so different because when you have a random person come to you and go, they don't say anything,
correct.
and it happened to me because
'cause
it was
you
by
were
accident.
smoking.
No, I wasn't
Oh,
smoking.
so you didn't throw your cigarette on the ground.
No, hey, I knew I didn't have gums. I didn't have anything when I went there. I was like, the first thing I saw
You're shit scared.
when you're going into the airport, a bloody sign like this. I was like, no, just throw everything. And I think I'd put a slip or something in my pocket and it had fallen out.
Okay.
By accident. And just when I got done, and I went, oh shit, I picked it up and I continued on.
There we go.
And I was like, oh man, I didn't feel judged. I didn't
In
feel
South
attacked.
Africa, they would have sworn it. Someone would have sworn at you.
Attack, man. Exactly what it would have been. Attack, who you?
And then there would have been an argument.
Oh, now we
someone,
fighting.
someone would have taken out their phone.
He's beating him for dropping paper.
Yeah, but but that's what happens.
It does.
So go closer to home.
Bad.
Why is Rwanda becoming so successful?
Rules. But
Because-
also implementation and
Because Kagame drives a set of rules
Yeah.
and implements those rules and
Yeah.
holds people to those rules. You know?
I mean, this is an episode. This is a topic for another episode. But there's a lot of African leaders who were trying to do that, right? Who were trying to implement rules and make
Yeah.
some big changes. I mean, Gaddafi was trying to create an African currency that's just ours. Just guys were trying to do stuff, and then things went south.
But all that big picture's great.
Yeah,
But rather than trying to create an
Basics.
African currency, let's just fix up each country and currency first.
yeah,
Because before you go, let's have a united African currency. That's just how I look at it. Well, get every country operating at optimal.
yes,
Then that
delivering.
African
Then it
currency
makes
is now
sense.
worth it.
Yeah,
I
fully
so,
agree.
So you look at places like Rwanda, and for me, the core thing is very clear rules, context, how people are prepared to behave, what's expected of behaviors, code of honor, and on all accounts, it's pretty successful.
Yeah.
So
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been fun. I enjoyed it.
that was fun. Thanks.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
You guys be awesome.
We'll see you next week. Be accountable for yourself, damn it.